And welcome to a very special edition of the Crispy Nibbles Food Reviews. So we're up to day 8 and this day started like pretty much any other day in Walt Disney World. We decided to visit the Magic Kingdom and we thought we'd try and catch the opening ceremony because we'd missed it earlier in the holiday. Unfortunately, by the time we got there, we'd missed it again. So that was a kind of bad start to the day. Not that you can really have a bad start to the day in Walt Disney World. So we decided we'd do some rides, cheer ourselves up, and we went to the Winnie the Pooh ride and we queued there for a little bit and played on all the interactive bits. And then we were told that that ride was shut for whatever reason, so we had to go and find something else to do. So we were just feeling this morning like things weren't really going our way. So we hopped on the Walt Disney World Railroad and we rode the whole train the whole of the way round the park, and it really did relax us and make us feel a bit more magical and a bit more special. And after that we were a bit peckish, so we popped over to Gaston's Tavern, which is situated in the new Fantasyland area of the Magic Kingdom, and we popped in there for a snack and we came out with this huge fantastic cinnamon iced bun and a lovely refreshing cold drink called LeFou's Brew. Now these are a snack credit each on the dining plan, and as you can see from this picture here, they were both absolutely enormous, so we shared them and they were delicious, really refreshing. Highly recommend going to Gaston's Tavern. And so we gave Gaston's Tavern for snack a 9 out of 10. We'll definitely be going back there again. So a bit later on we ended up in Disney Springs and we went to one of my favourite counter service places in the whole of Walt Disney World. We went to Wolfgang Puck Express. You really get so much for your quick service dining credit in this place. The portions are huge and the selection of food is huge too. So that was my chicken sandwich, and then Chris ordered the macaroni and cheese. And when they arrived, we started eating them and I was just looking at Chris's macaroni and cheese thinking, I wish I'd ordered that. And it turned out he was thinking the same thing, so we swapped and we were both really happy with the outcome. For dessert we both got the creme brulee cheesecake. I was a little bit disappointed that you can't get the creme brulee itself on the Disney dining plan anymore there. We did ask and we were told that it was a special and that it wasn't covered on the Disney dining plan. So I was a little bit disappointed because I've had it in the past and absolutely loved it. However, the creme brulee cheesecake was delicious, really good. And so overall we really enjoyed our trip to Wolfgang Puck Express. We gave it 7 out of 10. Maybe knocked a point off for not being able to have the creme brulee, but it was a really good. It was really quiet at that time, lunchtime as well, so that was great. Now that evening we decided we were going to go over to the Grand Floridian Resort to eat at Narcoossee's. Narcoossee's is a signature restaurant, which means it takes up 2 of your table service credits on the Disney dining plan. So as you can see, we got a little bit dressed up, you know, we didn't want to look too out of place. There's several ways you can get there. I mean, we took a bus to the Magic Kingdom and then we caught this boat over the lagoon to the restaurant. You can also get the monorail as well, but it was a lovely evening for a boat ride and just a bit of a special way of travelling across there. I had eaten at Narcoossee's several years ago, and while I really enjoyed the food, we didn't have a very good server, so the experience was slightly spoilt for me back then. But I was determined to give it another go and hopefully get a better server, and the food would be just as good, and it proved to be the case, as you'll see. So we got off the boat and we got there in plenty of time, so we decided to go and do some exploring, have lots of photo opportunities. The Grand Floridian really is a beautiful resort. I've never stayed there. It would be nice to maybe stay there for a couple of nights, but it is very plush, very nice, all very white and very grand, a little bit grand, but also very friendly as well. So yeah, we just wandered around for a little bit, sort of killing time before our reservation time. It's quite a big resort as well, so we tried to familiarise ourselves with where everything was, and we went off to find Narcoossee's. So we got seated and I started the meal with a blue glotini cocktail, which is something that's on most menus at Walt Disney World. And I thought, right, tonight I'm going to try it. And it was absolutely delicious. I really enjoyed it. And it just looks so special. It's a lovely colour and it's all glowy and you get to keep the glow cube. Chris also had a cocktail. Again, I'm a bit rubbish and I can't really remember what it was, but there were certainly no complaints from him. So then we were looking at the menu. We had a really good server. She was very helpful and talked us through everything. And we had a lovely view of the lagoon. And there's a picture of me now drinking my cocktail, enjoying it. It wasn't too busy at this point. There were quite a few people in, but it wasn't absolutely full. So the whole atmosphere was quite relaxed and quite chilled, really. So on to the food. As with most places, they have wonderful bread and butter. I always think the butter here is particularly good for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. So yeah, we enjoyed that. Another bread basket that we really enjoyed. Now, Chris decided ages ago that he really wanted to try the lobster at Narcoossee's because that's one of the dishes it's really famous for. So he got this meal. I think it was steamed lobster and it was a corn souffle and asparagus. He absolutely loved it. It was to die for. He just couldn't stop raving about this. He still can't to this day. I opted for a halibut dish which came with asparagus and it was sitting on like a potato crab cake and it was absolutely delicious. Now, earlier on in the meal, Chris had disappeared off to the toilets, or should I say the restrooms, for a while. But I didn't think anything of it. And he came back and then we started our meal and we ordered our food. It was, you know, one of those things I didn't think anything of. But then after we'd had our main courses, our server came up to me over my shoulder and she said, "Excuse me, madam, I've got something for you." And she placed this down in front of me. Now, as you can see, it says, "Will you marry me?" And there's a little slipper with a ring in it. And it took me ages to process what was going on. And then I realised that Chris was actually proposing to me at Narcoossee's in Walt Disney World. Well, of course I said yes. And it took a while for the shock to wear off, but then it was just happy, happy times. We were so happy. The people at the next table were taking photographs for us. Unfortunately, not many of the photographs came out very well. They were all a bit blurry, but that's just all adds to the fun of it. And I have to say, Narcoossee's were absolutely amazing. Chris had gone to speak to them and said, "Look, I want to propose to my girlfriend. Can you help me?" And they'd arranged this whole platter and slipper and put the ring in for him. And they were just absolutely brilliant. I had not got a clue that that was going to happen at that meal that evening. There's a close-up here of the little slipper that the ring was in, and I think it's like I don't know if it's white chocolate or if it's marzipan. I'm ashamed to say that we didn't eat it. We kept it in our fridge, but we never ate it. But it's just such a beautiful thing. It was just so exciting. We had to think about desserts afterwards, although there was so much exciting. Everybody in the restaurant was clapping us. I opted for the almond crusted cheesecake. And Chris had the strawberry shortcake. Both the desserts were absolutely delicious. Also, Narcoossee's gave us both a glass of champagne to help celebrate our engagement, and they also gave us some personalised menus as well, so we could remember the evening really well. And they also gave us an extra cheesecake with congratulations from Narcoossee's. I'm sure you won't be surprised to hear that we gave Narcoossee's a whopping 10 out of 10. Not only for the fact that it's an amazing place that we got engaged at, but just for the fact that they spoilt us so much and they helped Chris with his little plan, and it couldn't have gone any smoother. And Chris had thought about proposing in front of the castle, but I'm so glad he did it here. It was just absolutely perfect, and we'll be going back next year when we go back to Walt Disney World. So when we came out of the restaurant, the electrical water parade was going on, which was just a really fun and quirky thing to watch after such an amazing experience. So we watched that for a little while. And then we decided that we needed to get a really nice bottle of wine to celebrate our engagement. So we went to the shop in the Grand Floridian. As you can imagine, we were a little bit excited. So we told the ladies in there that we just literally that second got engaged at Narcoossee's. and they were just brilliant. They gave us free glasses to go with our bottle of wine that we bought. They gave us just engaged badges, and they just made such a fuss of us. That's the kind of thing that Walt Disney World does better than anywhere. You just feel so special. It makes a great event even better if that's possible. Unfortunately, it meant that for the rest of that night we couldn't get into the Magic Kingdom like we were going to do, because we had a bottle of wine and 2 glasses in our bag. But it didn't really matter. We were just so happy and so excited that I just remember standing in the bus station at the Magic Kingdom waiting for our bus and just thinking this was quite literally the best holiday we'd ever had. And it's all thanks to the amazing staff at Narcoossee's for helping us get engaged, basically, for helping the cause of true love. So day 8 of Walt Disney World 2016 was a pretty amazing and pretty memorable day. The food was fantastic, and the fact that we ended that meal as an engaged couple was brilliant. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and watch out for the next one, which is our first day as an engaged couple at Walt Disney World.